378 today. We're talking about some standouts in yesterday's matchup between Carolina and Colorado. And once again, a competitive series and competitive game. And Colorado, probably one of the more resilient teams in the NHL. They were down 4-1 early in the game. So Stankoven had the fourth goal of the game for Carolina early on. And then Colorado was able to make that pushback, and then they're able to get back in the game, send it to overtime, and then eventually send it to the shootout, back and forth with penalties, and then they lost in the shootout. But I honestly thought that Colorado was going to come back and take over this game, win this game either in overtime or maybe not necessarily a shootout. I feel like Colorado is better when it comes to overtime and just the third period in general, just because of the way they play and the way they have five guys in a unit offensively. And when it comes to the shootout, it's a little bit more of a challenge, I think, for them just to be able to. I mean, they have plenty of skill. It's not a question. It's just more a matter of how they're able to utilize them in the shootout. It's a lot of different scenario, but obviously they don't really happen that often, so you don't really get a really good glimpse at it. But on Carolina's side, starting with them, I thought Seth Jarvis was Seth Jarvis. He's goal per game right now. He's been elite offensively and play driving, and has just been there consistently. And he's been arguably their most consistent player of the year so far, outside of maybe Sebastian Aho. But I think Seth Jarvis has just been real game breaker for them. He's been real productive offensively, and he's been able to bring them to a new level. And he's they needed that. I think they needed a goal scorer who can provide that bit of stardom in their lineup regularly. He's able to do that. Obviously brings the offense swagger. So Jarvis certainly a guy that's he's exciting to watch. He's unique to watch just because of the ability to have the raw offensive ability and ability to make plays and be a dual threat player, be a two-way player, and do a little bit of everything. So he's fun to watch. It's exciting to watch. I feel like every game I've seen him score at least a goal and just continue to score even more and get more multi-point games at the same time. And get a lot of shots on net, so he's been really good. And Jackson Blake, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Logan Stankoven were all noticeable too. Nikolai Ehlers had another point, back-to-back games with points for him, and still looking to make a little bit more of an impact offensively. Him and Andrei Svechnikov both, but especially Ehlers as the newcomer, it might take a little bit more time. Historically, has been a slow starter every year, so it's also an interesting thing to follow. Maybe we'll see him ramp it up through the middle portion of the season, but man, Carolina's they had a lot of guys going throughout this game, and Jackson Blake included. He looked really good, and thought their decor is very engaged. They had rookie defenseman Charles Alexis Lego, who played in the USHL a few years ago. I believe he went to college after that. Has been a real bright spot for them up in terms of two-way ability, being able to use his skating, use his footwork, to activate in the rush. And looked good at his first NHL game and his NHL debut, and he looked even better, I would say, in this game too. Just the stick position, the detail, the ability to shut plays down, use his size, use his frame, use his speed, of course, and looked really good. So he was noticeable. As for Colorado's side, Valen Shushkin, one of their biggest standouts. He had two goals in this game, seven shots on net. Very productive for them when they needed him to be, and he was very engaged offensively. He looked really good. Cale Makar, Marty Necas, Nathan MacKinnon were all. I mean, you know what to expect out of those guys. But Marty Necas has just elevated this game to another level this season so far. Looks like he's going to be at least a 90-point player, maybe even 100 points, just because of the way he's playing and the offense he's getting out of his own game has been very productive so far, very exciting to watch. And he brought a lot of elements that are nuanced to the Avalanche. Obviously, brings a speed factor that's a little bit different than Rantanen, what he brings, but just the way that Natchez is able to play in zone offensively, his speed, his processing ability, and his one touch offensive play just makes him a really nice fit inside this system. And you could argue maybe it fits a little bit better than Mikko Rantanen because he has the speed, the tempo to be able to play with MacKinnon regularly and be able to have that speed and tempo and still on that line when you're looking at Lekanen, MacKinnon, and Natchez, there's still three very different players. And if you put Rantanen in there, there would still be three very different players. So Natchez just adds the speed factor to the game, and that's his biggest weapon. And he's been lights out for them so far this year, and he's probably going to continue that pace. I would say upwards of 90 points. That's what we're seeing out of him so far. Just looks dynamite. So very exciting to watch. And then Some other guys, Ross Colton was noticeable, Victor Olofsson was noticeable at 5-on-5 and on the power play. Brent Burns looked really good in his 1500th game and having that introduction and stuff like that looked really good there. Archery Lekkinen was great. Gavin Brindley was noticeable as well. And yeah, they had a lot of guys who were very noticeable. Trent Miner, of course, in that he was fantastic. He had to replace Scott Wedgwood early on in the game. Scott Wedgwood gave 4 goals up on I believe it was 11 shots. Could be wrong, but he gets pulled, and then Trent Miner comes in and plays fantastic. And outside of the shootout, he was great. So he did a great job and was very reliable for them up and down. And yeah, Colorado, not necessarily a bad game. They came back and made a really nice pushback, but they didn't obviously win.